Good morning dear students. I am Dr. G.B. Shendge, Assistant Professor, Department of Agronomy, College of Agriculture, Baramati. Today is our lecture on classification of farming system and factors affecting it. This is the lecture number 3. Title of this lecture is classification of farming system and factors affecting it. Okay, in the last lecture we have seen the farming system, definition, concept, objectives and scope of the farming system. Okay, farming system means it is an integration of all farm enterprises such as cropping system, fishery, poultry, piggery, beekeeping, forestry, etc. for the optimal utilization of available resources and bringing prosperity to the farmers. That is called as farming system. Or farming system is a decision making unit or decision making tool and land use unit comprising the farm household, cropping and livestock system that produce the crops and animal products for the consumption and for the selling purpose. That is called as farming system. Okay. Now see the classification of farming system. Farming system is classified into 12 different groups on the basis of type of farming, availability of water, value of product, according to type of rotation, according to intensity of rotation, according to degree of commercialization. It is classified into 12 different groups. In that first group, that is classification according to type of farming. Okay, this is the first classification of farming system on the basis of type of farming. It is divided into two groups, that is collective farming and cultivation farming. Collective farming means you have to collect any farm products from the non-arable land, that is called as collective farming. Non-arable land means, what is meant by arable and non-arable land? Arable land means the land or the crops which required the tillage operation, that is called as arable land, and the crops does not require any tillage operation for the growing, that is called as non-arable land. That is forest area or forest land, that is the non-arable land. The definition of collective farming is to collect the farm products from the non-arable land, that is called as collective farming. For example, you have to collect the honey from the forest area, that is called as collective farming, or hunting or fishing. This is the example of collective farming. Then second type is, that is the cultivation farming. Cultivation farming means in this farming system the farmers or cultivars cultivate the crops on the arable land for obtaining the maximum production per unit area, that is called as cultivation farming. Okay, cultivation of wheat, cultivation of soybean, okay, planting of potato, these are the example of cultivation farming. Cultivation farming means in this system the farming community or farmers cultivate the land for growing the crops for obtaining the maximum production per unit area, that is called as cultivation farming. Okay, this is the classification of farming system on the basis of type of farming. Okay, then second classification group, that is classification according to the size of farm or classification according to size farm or farm size. This is again divided into two groups, that is small scale farming and large scale farming. Okay, small scale farming means when the farming is done on small size of holdings. Okay, farming is done on a small size of holding, that is called as small scale farming, or this farming is carried, that farmer is called as small scale farmer. Okay, and large scale farming means when farming is done on a large scale with large amount of land, capital, labor and risk use, that is called as large scale farming. Small scale farming and large scale farming means the farming is done on a small size of holding, that is called as small scale farming, and the farming is done on a large scale size of holding, that is called as large scale farming. Okay, in the large scale farming large amount of resources or capital, labor and risk are used, that is called as large scale farming. Advantages and disadvantages of small scale farming and large scale farming are advantages of small scale farmings are intensive cultivation is possible. In the small scale farming, intensive cultivation is possible. Intensive cultivation means the cultivation in which intensively or large quantity of inputs are used, that is called as intensive cultivation for increasing the yield of crop. Okay, large number of inputs are used for increasing the production of crops or increasing the yield of crop, that is called as intensive cultivation. It is possible in small scale farming. Farm is easy to manage. Okay, in the small scale farming, farm is easy to manage as compared to large scale farming, and disadvantages is mechanization is not possible in small size or small scale farming due to the small size of holding or small area or minimum area under the cultivation. So mechanization is not possible, and employment generation or no employment throughout the year. Okay, employment is available only in particular period. Okay, throughout the year employment is not available in small scale farming. And in large scale farming, advantages is mechanization is possible in large scale farming because large size area under the cultivations, and per unit production cost is less because larger the area under the cultivation of crops, so it gives more yield. So per unit production cost is less in large scale farming. And disadvantages is difficult to manage the farm because of larger the area under the cultivation, so it is difficult to manage the field or to manage the farm. Employment generation or generate the employment throughout the year, and more loss during the less demand and more production. More loss occurs during the less demand of any product and more productions. These are the some disadvantages of large scale farming. Okay, this is the classification according to the size of farm. Then third group, that is the classification of farming system according to value of product or income. It is divided into 5 major groups. The first one is specialized farming, second is diversified farming, third one is mixed farming, fourth ranching, and fifth is dry farming. Okay, in that first see the classification on the basis of specialized farming, or what is meant by specialized farming. Specialized farming means the farm in which 50% or more income which is received from a single enterprise or single source, that is called as specialized farming or special farming. Or specialized farming means the farming in which 50% or more income which is received from single enterprise. Okay, single enterprise means there is a cropping, fishery, poultry, piggery, only one enterprise, that is called as specialized farming. Diversified farming means the farming in which 50% or more income which is received from several enterprises. Okay, it includes the several enterprises like cropping plus fishery plus poultry plus piggery. These are the several enterprises. Okay, that is called as diversified farming. Specialized farming means the farming in which 50% or more income which is received from the single enterprise, that is called as specialized farming, and from the several enterprises, that is called as diversified farming. Advantages of specialized farming is better marketing of any product, then proper use of land, labor, and the specialized farming less labor and equipments are required. And disadvantages of specialized farming is byproducts are not fully used in the specialized farming, and greater risk due to the single enterprises in the specialized farming have greater risk as compared to diversified farming. The advantages of diversified farming are better use of land, labor, and capitals. Okay, better use of availability resources, that is land, labor, and capitals. The income availability throughout the year in the diversified farming, due to the several enterprises, availability of income throughout the year, it maintains the soil fertility due to the several enterprises or due to the cultivation of different crops, it maintains the soil fertility. Disadvantages of diversified farming is supervision is difficult. Okay, due to the several enterprises, the supervision on that enterprises are difficult, and competition between crops increases. Due to the cultivation of 2 or more crops on the same piece of land, it increases the competition between the crops. This is the specialized farming and diversified farming. Third one is that is mixed farming. Mixed farming means farming in which cropping or crop production is combined with raising of livestock, that is called as mixed farming. मिक्स्ड फार्मिंग मीन्स त्यालाच मराठीमध्ये काय म्हणतात, मिश्र शेती असं म्हटलं जातं. ह्याच्यामध्ये काय केलं जातं, क्रॉपिंग विथ rearing of animals, that is called as mixed farming. Okay, farming in which crop production or cropping is with combined with raising of livestock, cropping with raising of livestock, that is called as mixed farming. Okay, cropping plus livestock. In the livestock you have to rear the cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, etc. Okay, that is called as mixed farming. Advantages of mixed farming: more efficient utilization of land, labor and other resources. In the mixed farming, proper or more utilization of the available resources. Balanced food is available. Mixed farming, it gives balanced food to the farmer's family. It provides money throughout the year. Due to the different enterprises, it gives money or income to the farmers throughout the year. It maintains the soil fertility, it improves the soil fertility. And disadvantage, only one disadvantage of this farming system is supervision on different enterprises difficult. Due to the different enterprises or several enterprises, the supervision on that enterprises are difficult, or to manage the practices, that is difficult in mixed farming. Then fourth, that is called as ranching. Okay, ranching, the definition of ranching is the livestock graze on the natural vegetation, that is called as ranching. Okay, ranching म्हणजे काय, the livestock are grazed on the natural vegetation, that is called as ranching. And this ranching is mostly practiced in America, Australia and certain parts of the India. The ranched land or ranch land is not used for the raising crops. Ranch land are not used, ranch land is not used for the cropping or for the raising the crops. Okay, the animals or the livestock are graze on the natural vegetation, that is called as ranching. Okay, मराठीमध्ये याला काय म्हणतात, कुरण किंवा कुरण असं म्हटलं जातं. Then fifth number, that is called as dry farming. Dry farming means the farming in which the farm in which annual rainfall is less than 750 mm per year or per annum, that is called as dry farming. Dry farming means the farming in which receive the less than 750 mm rainfall per annum or per year, that is called as dry farming. Okay, त्याला काय म्हणतात, dry farming असं म्हटलं जातं. This is the classification of farming system on the basis of value of products or income. Specialized farming, diversified farming, mixed farming, ranching and dry farming. The next classification of farming system on the basis of land, labor and capital investment. Okay, classification of farming system on the basis of land, labor and capital investment. It is again divided into two groups. First one is extensive cultivation and second one is intensive cultivation. Extensive cultivation means when more area under the cultivation of crops, so it increase the income or so it increase the yield, that is called as extensive cultivation. And intensive cultivation means small area under the cultivation of crops, but more inputs are used for increasing the production of crops from the same land, that is called as intensive cultivation. Extensive means larger area under the cultivation, so it increases the income or yield of the crops. And intensive cultivation means smaller the area under the cultivation of crops, but large number of or more number of inputs are used for increasing the production of crops from the same land, that is called as intensive cultivation. In the intensive cultivation, land is fixed, only inputs are increased. Only inputs like seeds, fertilizers, insecticide, pesticides, okay, fertilizer, etc. These are the inputs only increased, but land is fixed, that is called as intensive cultivation. Then classification of farming system on the basis of water supply or according to water supply. It is divided into two groups, that is rain-fed farming and irrigated farming. Rain-fed farming means the crops is totally depends on rainfall. Okay, the farming without irrigation is referred as rain-fed or dry farming. Okay, the artificial water is not available or not provided to these crops. These crops is totally depend on the rainfall, that is called as rain-fed farming. And irrigated farming means water is applied through external sources in addition to natural resources, that is called as irrigated farming. Irrigated farming means artificial resources or artificial sources or artificially water is provided to the crops, that is called as irrigated farming. Okay, this is the classification according to water supply, that is rain-fed farming totally depend on rainfall, and irrigated farming artificially water is provided to the crops from the artificial sources. Okay, that is called as, or external sources, that is called as irrigated farming. Then classification of farming system according to intensity of rotation. Okay, intensity of rotation, it is divided into 4 groups. First one is shifting cultivation, fallow farming, permanent cultivation, and multiple cropping rotation. Shifting cultivation means, in this cultivation, shifting of fields within a broad area of wide vegetation many fallow years follow a short period of cultivation, that is called as shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation, in this cultivation the land is shifted, that is called as shifting cultivation. Okay, the intensity of rotation is less than 33%. Okay, intensity of rotation of shifting cultivation is less than 33%. Then fallow farming, okay, without cultivation of any crop, that is called as fallow farming. Percentage of area cultivated annually is higher in relation to the total area available for arable farming, that is called as fallow system. This system is mostly followed in rain-fed condition or dry condition, where the water is not available for the growing of crops. So, in Kharif and in Rabi season the crops are cultivated, and in summer the land is fallow. Okay, that is called as fallow farming. The intensity of rotation of fallow farming is between 66 to 33%. Then third one is permanent cultivation. In this cultivation or in this farming, the land is cultivated nearly every year. Every year land is cultivated, or every year the crops are grown on that land, that is called as permanent cultivation, and intensity of rotation of permanent cultivation is more than 66%. Then multiple cropping, in this cropping system 2 or more crops is cultivated on the same piece of land. Okay, 2 or more than 2 crops are grown on the same piece of the land, that is called as multiple cropping. The intensity of rotation of multiple cropping is highest, that is 100%, more than 100% as compared to other intensity of rotation. Okay, this is the classification of farming system according to intensity of rotation, that is shifting cultivation, fallow farming, permanent cultivation, and multiple cropping. Highest intensity of rotation is more than 100% of multiple cropping, followed by permanent cultivation, fallow farming, and shifting cultivation. Then classification of farming system according to type of rotation. Okay, type of rotation, it is a natural fallow system. Fallow system means without no cultivation of any crops on that land. Okay, in a Kharif and in Rabi season, suppose water is available, then farmers cultivate or grown the different crops, but in summer season water is not available, so the land is fallow, that is called as natural fallow system. Then lay system means grasses and legumes are grown for livestock production, or that is utilized for livestock production. Grasses and legumes utilized for livestock production, that is called as lay system. असं म्हटलं जातं, grasses and legumes are used or utilized for livestock production. In that it is again divided into 2 groups, that is unregulated lay system and regulated lay system. Unregulated lay system means natural vegetation. Okay, natural grasses are self grown grasses, so that is called as unregulated lay system. And regulated lay system means artificially the grasses are grown on the land, that is called as regulated lay system. Unregulated means natural, and regulated means artificial or grasses are grown. Then third one is field system. In this system, crops and grasslands are completely separated and grow simultaneously. Crops and grasslands, or crops and fodder crops, are grown simultaneously, that is called as field system. And perennial crop system means the crops which require more than 1 year to complete their life cycle, that is called as perennial cropping system. For example, grasses crops, these are comes under the perennial cropping system group. Okay, this is the classification according to type of rotation. Then classification according to degree of commercialization. Degree of commercialization, in that first, commercialized farming. Commercialized farming means more than 50% produce is for sale, that is called as commercialized farming. Okay. Partially commercialized farming means more than 50% produce is used for home consumption, that is called as partially commercialized farming. And subsistence farming means no sale of crop and animal products, but used for home consumption. Total production is used for the home consumption, that is called as subsistence farming. Commercialized farming means 50% produce is for sale. Partial commercialized farming means 50% produce is for home consumption, and subsistence farming means no selling of plant and animal products. Okay. Whole production is used for the home consumption, that is called as subsistence farming. Okay. Suppose जवार क्रॉप हे लावलेलं आहे, आपल्याला त्याच्यापासून 10 क्विंटल एवढं उत्पन्न मिळालेलं आहे. ओके. याच्यामध्ये 10 मधील 8 क्विंटल जर आपण जवार विकले तर ते कशामध्ये येईल, कमर्शियलाइज्ड फार्मिंग. जर आपण 4 क्विंटल जर विकले तर ते कशामध्ये येईल, पार्शियली कमर्शियलाइज्ड फार्मिंग. आणि पूर्ण प्रोडक्शन आपण होम कन्झम्पशनसाठी ठेवलं तर ते कशामध्ये येईल, सबसिस्टन्स फार्मिंग. ओके. मोर दॅन 50, less than 50% production is used for the home consumption, and no selling of plant and animal products. Whole production is used for the home consumption, that is called subsistence farming. Okay. This is the classification of farming system according to degree of commercialization. Then classification according to degree of nomadism or grassland utilization. Okay. Nomadism means भटक्या जाती किंवा भटक्या विमुक्त जाती जसं असतात त्याला नॉमॅडिझम असं म्हटलं जातं. ओके. त्यांना परमनंट असं प्लेस राहण्यासाठी नसतं, ते भटकंती करत असतात एका जागेवरून दुसऱ्या जागेवर, दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज नॉमॅडिझम. इट इज अगेन डिवायडेड टू 5 ग्रुप्स, दॅट इज टोटल नॉमॅडिझम, सेमी नॉमॅडिझम, ट्रान्सह्युमन्स, partial nomadism and stationary animal husbandry. Okay. Total nomadism means they do not have permanent place of residence. Okay. System in which animals owners do not have permanent place for the residence. Their families moves with the herds. Okay. Total nomadism means they have no permanent place for the residence and they move with their herds. Semi nomadism means they have permanent place of residence, but they travel their herds for a longer period, that is called as semi nomadism. And transhumance means they have permanent place for the residence, but they travel, or they means seasonal migration of livestock to suitable grazing of land from one place to the another place, that is called as transhumance. Okay. Total nomadism means they have no permanent place for the residence. Semi nomadism means they have permanent place for the residence, but they travel their herds for longer period, for 1 year, 2 years or 5 years. Okay. That is called semi nomadism. Transhumance means they have permanent place for the residence, but they travel from one place to the another place only for the seasonal migration in particular seasons, in Kharif, Rabi or in summer season. Okay. That is called as transhumance. Fourth, there is the partial nomadism. Partial nomadism means they have permanent place for the residence and who have herds at their disposal which remains in the vicinity. And stationary animal husbandry means this occurs where the animals remain on the holdings or in the village throughout the entire year. Okay. The animals are kept in the fixed place throughout the year, that is called as stationary animal husbandry. Okay. This is the total nomadism. It is classified into 5 groups: total nomadism, semi nomadism, transhumance, partial nomadism and stationary animal husbandry. Okay. Total nomadism, they have no permanent place for the residence, they have permanent place for the residence. Transhumance, semi nomadism, partial nomadism, stationary animal husbandry, they have permanent place for the residence. Okay. This is the classification of farming system according to degree of nomadism, or it is also called as grassland utilization. Then classification of farming system according to implement used for the cultivation. Okay. This is divided into 3 groups, that is spade farming, hoe farming and mechanized farming. Spade farming means in this farming system manual labor is used for carrying various agriculture operation, that is called as manual, that is called as spade farming. Okay, then hoe farming, bullock power is used for the cultivation. Okay, bullock powers or bullocks are used for the cultivation of crops or for carrying the different tillage operation, that is called as hoe farming. And mechanized or tractor farming means power operated implements are used for the cultivation, or tractor are used for the cultivation of crops, that is called as tractor farming. Spade farming means manual labor is used, hoe farming means bullock power is used, and mechanized farming means power operated implements like tractors are used for the cultivation of crops, that is called as mechanized farming. Okay, this is the classification on the basis of implements used for the cultivation of crop. Then classification according to cropping pattern and animal activities. Okay, according to the leading crops and livestock activities of the holding, that is the cropping patterns, or it is also called as cropping system, like coffee, banana, rice, jute. Okay, rice, wheat, this is the cropping system or cropping pattern. Then next classification is the classification according to type of ownership. Okay, the farming system is classified on the basis of type of ownership, in that family farming, cooperative farming, state farming and personal farming. Family farming means farming is done with the help of family laborers, that is called as family farming. Cooperative farming means group farming or by using the society's people. State farming and personal farming, that is the personal or individual farming, that is called as individual or personal farming. This is the classification according to type of ownership, that is family farming, cooperative farming, state farming and personal farming. Okay, this is the classification on the basis of type of ownership. Okay, farming system is classified into 12 different groups. This classification on the basis of availability of water, type of farming system, intensity of rotation, degree of commercialization, etc. Okay. Then next point, that is the factors affecting the farming system. There are three major factors which are affecting the farming system, that is environmental factor, cultural factor and economic factor, that is called as socio-economical factors. Okay. Environmental factors, it includes the environmental or climatic condition, that is the precipitation, rainfall, okay, wind, altitude, height, okay, then humidity, temperature, etc. These are included in environmental factors. In the cultural factors means type of farming system, type of cropping system, okay, type of cultivars, okay, type of cultural practices, which are included in cultural factors. And economic factors, that is called as socio-economical factors, which includes the technological factor, transport, market, government, okay, availability of money, etc. These are included in socio-economical factors. Also, it includes the availability of resources, soil and climatic factors, present level of utilization of resources, economics of proposed IFS and managerial skill or technical knowledge of farmers about the cultivation of crops. These are the some factors which affect the farming system. Okay, this is the factors affecting farming system. Okay, thank you. This is the whole lecture about the farming system, classification of farming system and factors affecting it. Okay, thank you.